Rock the Ripple. Rock the Ripple. The Rock the Ripple podcast with Narita McInnes.
Let's do this. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Rock the Ripple podcast. I'm your host, Narita McInnes. As always, it is so awesome to be here with you today. And today I want to dive into the sticky note that reads frequency shift. Basically, there's so much that I could talk about on this topic, so I'll see how I go today. As you know, if you've been following me for a while, you know I have the frequency shift journal. I do frequency shift sessions. I love just anything about frequency shifting. So maybe what I'll start with is talking about, well, what does that even mean to me? So frequency shifting. Really, when we frequency shift, we are stepping into another version of ourselves. We are walking into alignment with the frequency of our highest potential. So in other words, when we align with the frequency of our highest potential and we frequency shift, we are being the best version of ourselves. We're consciously creating and stepping into what it is that we want to create. So we frequency shift. So there's so many ways to explain this. I don't know if there's so many ways, but there are different ways, many ways, but maybe there are so many ways. Let's just give it a crack here. So basically, if you think about wanting to make a change in your life, you want to make a change. Let's say you want to get fit. It's a great example. It's an easy one for all of us to understand, but you want to get fit. So at the moment, you're not fit. So who would the person you would need to be? What would you do each day if you were a fit person? So if you were a fit person, you would get out of bed early each day, perhaps, and you would pop your sneakers on or your runners or your thongs, flip-flops if you're watching this in America, not thongs. And you would either go to an aerobics class, you'd go to a Pilates class, you take your thongs off, your flip-flops off there because that's a bare feet thing, or you'd go to yoga, another bare feet thing, or you'd do some weights, or you'd go for a walk. It would be something along those lines, and you would start your day in a way that is beneficial for you as a fit person. So as a fit person, that is what you would do. So you would also be mindful about what you ate. You would be kind to yourself. You would be the kind of person who has a spring in your step. You would do intentional extra things like take the bins out. You would walk to different places instead of drive. You'd take the stairs instead of the elevator. All these sorts of things are the type of person you would be when you are fit. So knowing that that's the kind of way that a fit person would operate, you then choose to step into the frequency of that person. You see, there are infinite versions of you that exist. And the version that you are right now is the version that you have become based on your past decisions up until this very moment. And so the beauty is, in any given moment, like this second, right now, you get to choose if you want to continue doing what you've been doing or if you want to shift. And in that, you frequency shift. You might say, okay, I like where I am, but there's room for improvement. I would love to shift in a certain area. So then you decide, what does that person do? How would I be as that? So another way to explain this, which I love, which I heard from an awesome guy somewhere on YouTube, I think it was, and he was talking about how you can look at it as different rooms. So for me, I love to look at when we want to shift into a new frequency and be our best version, we're moving into a different frequency, like I said. So let's imagine a mansion. Let's imagine a mansion with thousands of rooms in it. And right now, the frequency that you're holding is in one particular room. So in that one particular room, that is you right now. Now you want to step into the frequency. We'll use the example of being fit. So that is in another room. That frequency exists in another room. So in order for you to step into that frequency, you need to walk out of the room that you're in and walk over to the room which the frequency of your new version of you exists. And what that means is you can't exist in both frequencies at the same time. You can't exist in both rooms at the same time because you've walked out of that room into the room that you want to be in, the new frequency, the new room. So if you imagine that, I think it's an awesome way to allow for you to step into that new frequency. So I hope I'm explaining that well. Hopefully you're with me. Leave me a comment or send me a message. Let me know. Are you with me so far? I get excited. I get so excited about this because we all have the potential to make a change, make a shift if we want to. Now, if you're someone who has maybe dived down the rabbit hole of the world and you can see what's been going on and you really want to make a change in the world, this is awesome for this as well, because when you shift your consciousness, when you shift into a new frequency, you step into the frequency where you are empowered, you are sovereign, you stand in your power, you spread your light and you emanate your truth and your sovereignty wherever you go, and that creates a ripple effect. So you've got the power to step into any frequency that it is that you desire. So if you want to see a shift in the world, obviously you need to shift within. That's the same for all of us. If we want to see and create a new reality for ourselves and the world and the collective, we need to make that shift within. So that's why I get so excited about frequency shifting as well too, because it's the more of us that do this work, the more of us that step into who we truly are and who we want to be, that right there shifts consciousness. It raises the vibration of the planet and it creates ripple effects far and wide, greater than you could ever imagine, greater than our brains, our mind could ever imagine. On a soul level, we know it, but try to do it logically, I think our brains might explode. So we really do have that power within. We have the ability to shift. So we might want to shift because we want to make a difference in the world, because we want to make a change within, we want to get fitter, we want to become more confident, we want to be more of who we are, we want to experience all that life has to offer, whatever it might be. You know, if you're watching or listening to this, you know there might be something within that you'd love to shift. And so another way that I love to help people shift or do it myself, because this is how I've been doing it, is I created a frequency shift activation. And that's something that comes with the journal, that the frequency shift journal. And it teaches you how to create your own frequency shift activation. I've also created many activations as well that you can listen to help you shift consciousness, to help you shift your mindset, to reprogram your subconscious mind. Because if you think about it, as you would definitely know this, you know that everything that we've learned up until this point in our life, that's all been programmed into us, whether it's been consciously or unconsciously. And if there's stuff that we want to shift and we want to change in our lives, then in order for us to consciously change them, we need to do that work. So with the power of repetition, the power of affirming, with the power of embodying what it is that we want to be and show up for, the frequency shift activation allows the repetition to keep reprogramming our subconscious mind. So it allows us to affirm each day who it is we are now. Because as you know as well, everything exists now. Nothing exists before or after, past, present. Like, yes, there was a past, but everything exists in the now. So the only way that we can experience the past is by thinking about the past. And those are just thoughts. So if we want to create a future which is freaking amazing, that we've always dreamed of, then our job in the now is to create that now, because we're always creating from this moment, this moment, this moment. So when we consciously create and consciously imagine, embody, call in, feel, align with, however you want to say it. When we do that in the now, we are creating that now, and therefore we are creating that in the future, which of course, when we get to the future, will always be now. And so that's why I love as well talking about planting the seeds in the garden of our mind. So if right now you are to plant a seed in the garden of your mind, you decide, you say that seed is your decision to go, yep, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a change in my life. This is what I'm going to do. I decide. You right then have planted that seed in the garden of your mind. And so you know as well that that is going to be growing. So if you know you have planted an oak tree, you know that oak, and an oak tree gets pretty big. It takes time to grow. It takes time to be the giant big oak tree that it is. So you know that it's been planted though, so you know that it's going to be an oak tree. It's not going to be an apple tree. It's not going to be a lemon tree. It's going to be an oak tree. So when you plant that desire and that decision into the garden of your mind, you know that that's what it's going to be. So you don't have to worry about whether that will be something else or how it will unfold. You just know that it will. You'll tend to it with love. You'll give it water. You'll affirm each day. You'll know. You'll just, I've decided I've planted an oak tree, and maybe that is in I am getting fit. I'll keep using that example because that's what we're using today. But yeah, so I've planted the seed as I am a fit person. Okay, great. And so each day you will water that seed. You will water that by getting up and doing what a fit person does. And that's how you shift consciousness. That's how you shift frequencies, because in every moment you are shifting because you are doing the work. And you can do that for any seed that you plant. You might decide, okay, I want to believe in myself more. I want to believe in all that I can do and be confident in what it is that I do. So you decide and you plant that seed. Okay, what would I do if I believed in myself more? What would I do? I might write that book that I've been putting off. I might start that gym class. I might move to that new suburb. I might start going on dates. Like whatever it might be, that is the seed that you have planted. So you start to water that and tend to it each day. And slowly over time, we don't know how long things will take, but you will start to notice the shifts. And that is the frequency shifting. And we are doing it consciously or unconsciously each day and in each moment. And you get to decide, you get to show up for yourself. And so if you want to create more of what you want to create, if you want to step into the fullness of all that you are, that you have that ability to do that, to shift frequencies, to step into that, to step into your power, to be all that you came here to be. That is all there for you. That is all there for you. So another way to look at shifting frequencies, of course, is old school radio, where you would tune in, with the dials and to tune in to different frequencies. You know that there are lots of different radio stations out there, and you can tune into Awesome FM, which might be the I think I've used that before, Awesome FM. It sounds cool, doesn't it? Because you're awesome, obviously. But you tune into that. That one right there is the frequency of your highest potential. And there's so many different frequencies. Maybe you've had a frequency where you haven't felt as awesome, or maybe you've been in different seasons of your life as well. So you are in a season and a frequency of perhaps being more retreating, just like the seasons: summer, autumn, winter, spring. In winter, there's not as many leaves. It doesn't mean it's not as beautiful or fabulous, but in that time, it's a bit quieter and you're doing things differently. So maybe there's been parts of your life when you're in that frequency, and then you're in the frequency of spring where it's just beautiful trees and blossoming, and that is your time to to just blossom and shine, and we ebb and flow. And that doesn't mean you don't shine in winter. Of course you do. It just means that we're in different parts of our lives and different seasons of our lives as well. And the beauty is when you shift into a frequency, when you're aware of that, when you understand that, when you really tap into the fact like, oh, okay, maybe it is a time for me to retreat a bit, but still shine your light in the only way that you can. But you're more aware of the seasons and you ebb and flow with life more easily because you have raised your frequency, you're more aware, and you know who you are more and more. And that too is the beauty of when you frequency shift, is because you get to know yourself even better on a deeper level. We keep doing the things that we would normally do, but we know ourselves better. I think there's it's the quote, when you're not enlightened, you take the water to the well. It's an old school quote, obviously. Or, I'm going to say, I'm definitely paraphrasing here, but I'm going to say when you take the water, and when you do the dishes, and when you're not enlightened and you do the dishes, come on. Okay, look, I've got this. Hold on. When you're not enlightened, you do the dishes. When you're enlightened, you do the dishes. So you're still going to be doing life. Thanks for sticking with me with that one. You're still going to be doing life whether you are enlightened or not. You're still going to be doing the same things, but you will have a different perspective. You'll have a different understanding of depth of wisdom and knowledge when you're doing the mundane, I guess, like doing the dishes, which can actually be the most beautiful and spiritual thing when you're like just in that moment as well. Like just, it can be, not always, but it can be. if you're not looking at it as a chore, but just a thing that you're doing in that moment, So yeah, I really, as you can tell, I get really excited about the possibilities that there are to us because, we might think that we can't change or that we can't make a difference. But the truth is you absolutely can. And it all starts within. So anything that you do, the smallest little change, it can be the smallest thing, can create the biggest ripple effect. We will never know how far and wide that can go. Like I always think about this example of, the person who goes into the grocery store and is having a shitty day, and then you go up to that person and you just give them a smile and say, hey, how you going? And that's it. And that shifts that person's day. And that person can be like, wow, like that person just, I feel great. They smile and then they pass that on. They then go through the checkout and they smile at the grocery dude. And then he then feels great. They have a great interaction and then he's in a good mood. And then an idea just drops into him and he thinks, wow, maybe I should do something or other. And maybe I'll create a video that, an idea that's just popped into his head, and that video, he pops it on YouTube, and then that video on YouTube gets seen by thousands of people, and he's just inspired thousands of people, all because you started with a smile with someone who was having a shitty day and you turned their day around. Like it's the tiniest things, but we can never know how far the ripple will go. We can never know how far we will rock the ripple, like what I did there. How far we will rock the ripple when we do the smallest little things. And so the tiniest little decision in your life to say, okay, I decide that I'm going to do this. I'm going to step into the frequency of this. That decision right there, huge. Could be the hugest things, but it's the tiniest little steps. And those little things make the biggest difference. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with me on this little thing. See, I've just looked at the time and I didn't realize I'd be talking for as long as I had. So if you're still with me, thank you for sticking around and for hearing me chat about all things frequency shifting. As you can tell, I could probably talk about this for days and days. But yeah, let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know how this has made you feel. Have you, do you resonate with any of this? Has it sparked any ideas? Let me know. Send me a DM, leave a comment. And if you are listening to this, wherever you listen to podcasts, please give it a review. And if you are watching this, give it an old thumbs up and follow, subscribe if you're not already. And if you want to connect, obviously, you can head to my website at naridamckinnis.com. I think that's everything I say at the end there. Aside from that, thank you so much for being here and being part of this episode. And I cannot wait to catch up with you again soon.